Hey folks, how you doing? Today is the 24th of January, 2026. Leo Naranjo here, still dressed out in my kick-around clothes for today. I went out there to Roseville Galleria this afternoon looking for some patriots, doing some Trump flag waving, supporting, and everything else. And instead, we ran across anti-ICE picketers, a couple of pro-Trumpian, pro-USA members who said there was a little bit of a kickoff in violence, so the activity at the Roseville Galleria today was canceled. Most interesting. Not sure what exactly happened, but the event didn't take place. I'm sitting here because I'm going to pop off a couple of videos today on some things that I've seen offline, very disconcerting, and kind of struck me as odd. And let's put the question to the test of a few things. Number one, let's start off with this governor's race in 2026 and the Republican Party's response to it. It's very apathetic and laissez-faire to the point of absurd. Republican Party is desperately seeking individuals to run campaigns against upwards of 60 open seats up and down this state. They don't care who you are. They don't care what you stand for. Hell, they don't even need to know you. They just need you to be a Republican to put your name on a ballot. Ladies and gentlemen, that's called half-ass campaigning to me. Desperation for other people. You've done nothing to help anybody get prepared for a campaign that's going to start off in earnest 3 months from now. February, March, April, May, June, 5 months from now to be the first primary. But you want people to rush to put their name into the hat so that you can say you've challenged a race. And maybe you think that you're accomplishing something. Maybe you think, for those in the professional version of the state GOP, that you actually think that you're doing something positive for the party, and you're not. You're looking like a bunch of dumbasses. Pardon the French, but let's call it what it is. You're setting people up for failure. You folks who are doing this don't care of the ramifications that you're going to put on to the people that even answer or take up the challenge. Will you get a couple that are lucky? You might get some that win. But the message you're sending is one that you are desperate to throw anybody into the mix just to say you made a challenge is pathetic. You've prepared nobody. You had over 3 years to prepare for this year, and most of you out there, and you know who you are because I've talked to a few of you, oh, Leo, it's too early. It's too soon. It's too important. Now look where we are today. Shame on each and every one of you. Maybe you should resign your positions and let some new blood into the realm. But that's kind of cheesy. What you're trying to do right now is to throw people into the mix. There's a lot of folks that are not going to like this video, but grow up because that's what you're doing. Call it for what it is. Pushing a narrative right now, you are. Pushing a narrative, on the governor's race. Oh my God, the internet blew up today. Woohoo! Chad Hilton Chad. They're in the 18th percentile range. You think that's impressive? Well, you people are slower than I thought. That's not impressive. They've been reporting that number up and down for the last year and a half. What's changed? Nothing. What's moved? Nothing. You got somebody running around here spreading around a golden ticket. People are going to be looking on the ballot for the golden ticket. Is it there? No. But you think that's impressive. God bless you. Got another one running around here. He's propagandizing so much. Oh my God. Dude, you barely won your sheriff position with less than 12% of your county's vote. And you think that was impressive enough to win California? If you say so, I guess. Everybody has their own mindset. Got a candidate that pulled out of the Republican side of the House. He's now a no-party preference individual, according to the Secretary of State website 48 hours ago. Will he still be allowed in Republican venues will be the question, Mr. Mercury. But there's a lot of numbers being tossed around. I told you yesterday I shot a video out there, ABC News, 11 a.m. morning news. Chad Bianco holding at 12%. Or that wasn't Chad, that was Mr. Hilton, I'm sorry. 12%. 12%. Hilton just put out something, said he was in the lead by 47%. Now we're back down to 18 or 16. Yeah, you guys keep floating around with these polls like you're trying to indoctrinate people to thinking your numbers are correct, and they suck. 12% is what the news reported. 47% is what Mr. Hilton stated. Oh my gosh, that's a 35% swing. One of you two is lying on your numbers. Why am I smiling about that? Because that's a huge drop and a huge difference in your numbers. 35% up or down. If you believe Mr. Hilton, that means he took a 35-point plunge. What caused that, pray tell? If you believe the news, that means that Mr. Hilton never was at 47%. He puffed up his numbers by 35 points. And now we suddenly have certain Republican candidates running for Congress? Well, at least we have two in the race. That's funny, ma'am. You never said that before. Matter of fact, you were a diehard when it came to the abortion question, but now you've pushed it off to the side. You're okay with pro-life candidates, but you're not a pro-life candidate. I'm sorry. Yes, you are okay with a pro-life candidate. You've made that very clear. Anti-abortion people, you love. But pro-choice candidates, you didn't have many kind words for until now. You're selling your soul for that chair. You'll do anything to get that chair. That's funny. That's what the sheriff did when he threw that gentleman under the bus and tried to accuse him of assassinating a president when the president himself said it never happened. So now we have two interesting individuals that the news is puffing up as the number 1 and 2 Republicans on the ticket. And those two are freaking out over Swalwell and Porter. Katie Porter is running around California somewhere. Mr. Swalwell, last that I've heard, he's still playing up there in Congress. He's in California? What's the status on him? Is he going to be on the ballot or is he not going to be on the ballot? Can he legally be on the ballot? But every time a name comes up, these two top Republicans freak. Hell, Mr. Hilton's still trying to run a campaign against Gavin Newsom to beat him in an election that Newsom can't even partake in. Focused. And now we have another incident in Minnesota. Mr. Gates, God bless you. You probably did a good job down there in Huntington Beach. But you got fired for cause from the feds 10 months into your job. That was changed, yes. But the charge was never corrected that you created a hostile working environment towards women. That's still being reported. Along with you being fired for cause, that was later changed. Yes. People are asking individuals questions, and for some reason, you guys on the golden shower ticket, you continue to answer for the candidate who needs to be answering the questions. Nobody cares what your opinion is when the governor candidate is being asked the question. He's the one running, not you. So this is an interesting play as we're moving through the process, ladies and gentlemen. We have a candidate who has found the shield that I identified with long ago that he was going to try and do and perpetrate. In order to not answer questions, you get a team around you so you can skate responsibility. That's what Mr. Gates is for. That's what Ms. Romero is for. Ms. Romero is running for lieutenant governor. But the question that you posted online, somebody posted and asked you, was about the problem with education in California. Nobody is interested in Ms. Romero's position. They asked you, the governor candidate for the state of California, what are you going to do? And the educational department person right now running, Ms. Sonia Shaw, but a couple other people are running in that race also. The question should be posed to them, what are they going to do? 3 years ago, California ranked 50th in adult literacy. Hell, you can't go anywhere but up. So no matter what you do, if it goes up 1 point, that's success if you want to embrace mediocrity to that level. Kids can't even go to high school, from high school to college, because guess what? Lo and behold, the colleges are reporting that they don't understand math. They got to go back to a simple high school course to catch up. Governor, what are you going to do? I saw a report here about education from the colleges. They're posting profits. Profits? Where are they getting that from? Need to look into that to find out what those schools are profiting on when they're supposed to be focused on educating students. You want to play in the business world, get out of the education world, go play in the business world. You need to be educating students to excel and exceed and get educated to advance into the next level or into the job force and life in total. Fraud, waste, and abuse all over the place. Yes, we have it. Everybody knows it. People are acting like this is something new in California. It's been going on for generations. It's a hot button topic now because it's all over Minnesota, splashed over here. Don't hear about those Epstein files, though, don't you? We'll pass on that one. So you got a lot of fraud in this state. You got a lot of corruption in this state. Lo and behold, you got a sheriff down south back in August. He was going to drop the dime on Newsom. Still waiting on that announcement that you haven't made, Mr. Bianco. Now you got another video that says basically the same thing. Still waiting on the news that you supposedly have. But my question to you, sir, would be this. If you have this information, it's so solid, why the hell haven't you effected an arrest? After all, according to your own words, you are the lawman of Riverside County. You do what you want to do because that's your county. But braggarts make statements like that until they come out of their county and have to start moving around the rest of the counties up and down the state. Then they change. Kind of funny, you're running around here with bodyguards. Again, when we're talking about fraud, waste, and abuse, I hope that's your campaign paying for those people, because it would be kind of pushing the limit to have the people of Riverside County pay for your bodyguard expenses to campaign, which I also hope you're doing on your time, not theirs. You were elected sheriff, weren't you? You weren't elected to run for governor, but that's a law that allows you to get away with that. And that's one of those things I'll be looking to try and change should I be elected. So this is something fast, but the basic question is this. Why are we paying fees to run for governor? What do those fees pay for? Has anybody ever asked that question? What are we paying for? Are we paying for the material that has to be created? I'm sorry, the Secretary of State gets a budget for that. It's already enveloped in the budget. Are we paying for the staff to push around the paperwork, do what they need to do with it? They get a salary to do that job regardless if there's an election ongoing or not. So what exactly is it that we are paying for outside of their own budget? That's one of those things that I'm also going to look into. We pay for a lot of things that we already seem to be paying for as if we're duplicating payment. I'm paying for the staff to work at the Secretary of State's office. That's why they get a salary and have a contract and they have a job. I'm paying for the benefit of having my name on the election, the ballot, my statements, and everything else with it. That's why we pay the Secretary of State's office to do all that and handle that in their budgetary process. When you start talking about fraud, waste, and abuse, there's a lot of fraud, waste, and abuse, even on the basic of stuff. I pay firemen to do the job of putting out fires, whether there's a fire that's ongoing or not, but every now and then they seem to ratchet up an extra charge for something. The use of their equipment, that's part of their budget. The use of their time, their personnel, that's part of their budget. What are all these extra costs and fees that they're collecting, and where are they going? And if they're going back into the general fund coffers, that's part of the fraud. That's part of the abuse. You pay for an agency, whether it moves or it doesn't. That's why we pay the agency. You pay the agency to produce paper. Whether it does or doesn't is another thing, but they're paid. They get a budget for materials and everything else. Everything that includes fees are extra. So I just wanted to leave that with you folks to things I had nothing but, a lot of time, stuff that I think about when I've got nothing better else to do, and ask myself these questions. Why are we paying this fee, and where does it go to, and what is it actually for that we're paying the fee? Elections shouldn't be tiered only to rich people. Elections shouldn't be engineered or steered by media. The only person you see on the news is that Fox 40 guy. And the only time they ever announce anybody else, they sure as heck don't say this is a candidate for governor, but they do on him. Yeah, life is funny. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out for you guys to entertain yourself with on asking questions about fraud, waste, and abuse. Look at all the fees that we pay throughout the state, and then ask yourself this: why are we paying them? Where do they go? Housing is one of those fees that I want to look into should I be elected. A lot of notary stuff has to pass through when you buy a home. But why are we paying almost $200 or $300 to get a notary for our documents when you can go down to your local UPS store and do it for $15-20? Same thing. That's how we start to roll back costs. And to the mayor of San Jose, forgot your name for the moment because I'm kind of busy doing some things on my computer here, but I'll let you know this. You entertained Mr. Hilton as the 6th governor candidate down to see your little tiny home down there in San Jose, how you're really hitting that homeless problem. $2,000 a square foot for homeless housing, tiny housing no less. 350 people out of the thousands that you have down there, no less. Still seeing the reports of your problems that have not changed one iota. You wanted to impress upon him you're doing a great job and you guys are going to partner together and work it all out. You didn't really say too much about the other 5 people who came down to visit you. Come to find out the hard way and the long way, those were Democrat candidates that visited you. Steve was the only Republican. Expect a call from me on Monday, sir, because I'd like to go down there and see what you're doing as well. One of my questions is going to be, maybe Mr. Hilton was remiss in asking, why are you spending $2,000 a square foot for a tiny home for people who can barely keep themselves alive, who can't do anything if they were in a home because they don't have that experience? And what do these homes look like once you move these folks in? What are the conditions, the area? How are those prices coming down? And what's the long-term goal for your sustainability? You have homes there that people are rejecting. You have services that people are rejecting. I'm not here for that. We spend $35 billion already waiting for people that can't help themselves to figure out that they need help. Those days are going to become long gone. They now have a choice that adults in the room need to start making for them. Drug users, drug havers, drug abusers, it's going to be rehab, jail, or a combination of the two. Alcoholics, rehab, jail, or a combination of the two. The ones that are mental incapacitated and can't fend for themselves, and if you put them in housing, all they're going to do is tear it up and destroy it before they leave it and go somewhere else to do the same thing they've been doing. You're going to go into a facility to help you cope with life and try and get you back on your feet. All the services will be provided because we're going to put those people out there. And thank you, Mr. Gino Gavin, for cleaning out the jails to providing the bed space for us to do this. That's one vision. And last but not least, I don't want to endure California and those stringent rules to keep me in instead of out doing what I want to do, because I'm homeless and that's what I want to do, is to be homeless, stay homeless, F you and the world and society. No, ma'am or sir, that's not going to continue to happen in this state, not under my watch. You want to go back to your home of record? We will happily put you on a bus and ship you back. And your state can deal with you. But the welcome arms that Mr. Gino Gavin threw open to let you folks come into this state and destroy it and use homelessness as the get out of jail free card for any type of responsibility, those days are coming to an end. The $35 billion industry is coming to an end. The stories we're starting to hear now, oh, there's a lot more than just those individuals that need to be arrested. There's a few public servants that are going to suffer that same fate because they've been party to that fiasco. Yep. It's a big problem in California. Tons of money we throw out the door as fast as we can acquire it. And when we run out, the first solution that the Democrat Party has is to increase taxes, fees, or other nonsensical things which make our lives miserable. There is my stance on that when it comes to cost. Today's gas prices I seen, $3.60. I think I just posted it today. Took a picture of it. Costco, Sacramento. $3.59. $2.48 in Georgia. That was last year. Had a person post on X, $1.89 in Colorado. That was last year too. That's my target goal. $1.89 a gallon of gas. Met a young lady the other day at one of the welfare offices. She's complaining because she bought a hydrogen car. Ooh, I didn't even know those existed. Learn something new every day, don't you? Only 2 places she can tank up, and one of them is broke. That's in Sacramento. So she has to drive down towards the Bay Area to get recharged. And it's expensive. Her thing is she didn't understand why they have these cars for sale and they don't have the infrastructure to support them. And I said, well, ma'am, now that you're stuck with a car that you can't even fuel up, what is your solution to get the fix? She said, well, I'd like to get my money back. However, I started to think about that. Have to figure out how to do that. You provide a product that you can't support. Maybe you need to take your product back until you can support it. And I'm pretty sure the Toyota manufacturing company can do that. Depending on how many cars they sold, we're going to look into that too. See if we can get these people's money back. If they were pressured to buy something that the community could not sustain. Go green? Go ahead. But it's not going to be mandated and forced upon the state. It's going to be a choice people get to make. These gasless communities, those are going to get changed too. Mark my word. Already has some precedents coming out of the federal courts about that. California doing their stupid thing by themselves, violating laws. So my name is Leo Naranjo IV. That's one of the little things I was thinking about today. I wanted to impress upon you all. Give it a thought, give it a shot, give it a thought. Think it over. Why is this happening? Among some other things. And we'll be talking with you again soon. Leo Naranjo 4gov.com. Leo Naranjo, Roman numeral 4. That's IV on X. Support, like, donate. You can do that on Zelle. You can do that on PayPal. You can do that by sending in a check. Everything helps. Everything helps. And if you think that your vote doesn't count, your donations don't count, let me tell you this: 1.7 million of you that think the same way, pop $5 in my direction, and we'll show the people who are running and think they're all that in a bag of chitlins what an actual race really means. Thank you very much. You guys have a great evening.